My name's Adrian Adams. Yeah, I was born and bred in Tottenham, Broadwater Farm. 3 other siblings and a two-parent household. But like a lot of other young people, I can say that I allowed some of the variables in my personal environment to influence me, and I lived a previous life which led me into sort of negative pathways, to say the least. But I would always say it's like being from Broadwater Farm is like it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because you're surrounded by a melting pot of vibrant culture and creativity. It's a community filled with cultural leaders and talented creatives. I've got memories from childhood that are second to none, and I would never trade them for the world. But it's also a bit of a curse because you're in the belly of the beast. There are many variables around you that you cannot control. And given the previous negative relations between the police and the community, you're born into that, and you're born to be taught about police injustice, and you're sort of geared to see the police as an enemy. So you sort of have like a dichotomy, if you will, of like criminality and social injustice, and you sort of have to sort of ride between both sides. And I was no different. I can honestly say I spent my late teens and early 20s entrenched into the realms of criminality. Whatever it was to make money is what I'm willing to do. When I got into my earlier 20s, it felt a bit different. I was feeling really unfulfilled, and I read a quotation by Malcolm X, which was that one man cannot rise above the condition of his people. Now, I didn't know it at that moment, but that was where my journey in social care began. So, We Care Homes, as an organisation, was registered in 2017. Over the years, we've supported more than 100 people in care and engaged in numerous community initiatives with a mandate to support young people who are at risk of youth violence and criminal or sexual exploitation. I then thought if we could bridge the gap, then we could make a stronger connection between generations. I believe that empathy is the best place to start from. Therefore, I said to myself, if I could create a piece of writing that could help our younger counterparts to improve or to change, then we could actually help the community and also protect the families.
The things that I faced, I couldn't go back to my mum and say, yo, mum, these guys are telling me, should I join this gang? And what is gang? They haven't got a clue. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like, are we engaged in understanding what the plights of those that are coming behind us? Respect is earned. And I feel like we are not earning the respect of our young people. We are being successful and clapping for ourselves, and we're in the WhatsApp groups, giving each other big ups. But actually, are we taking time? Like, as busy as I am, bro, no one can't, the amount of time I spend for free going to schools, universities, youth groups, because I understand that they need to see that we exist in these spaces.
And the question I have is, how can we as individuals promote more positive role models in the community for our young people to admire?
If anyone can agree, when we were younger, at home, you may have been really, really well behaved. But out in the community, you was big and bad. So you kind of got to think about, okay, education, positive role model, community, positive role model, family, positive role model, and collectively working together, that I feel that it would have a better effect on the younger person.
So if our young people come into a world where they know that there's like 1 or 2 key people in their community and they're super connected, they're connected to every other like extremely successful person or black person in the community. Like, they haven't focused on their family first, and if there's a little bit left, then they'll give it to the community. Like, if these people are really community oriented and they're connected, then we go to the next level.
Nobody likes having a social worker on their door. Now, the reason why I went into social work is because I saw there was a lack of representation of black men within the field.
I'm very big on his qualifications, yeah? Study. So I drive a nice car, not gonna lie to you, I like nice things. But I got there because of my qualifications. So sometimes they say to me, brother, you a drug dealer or something, man? How come you got them Jordans, or you drive a nice car, whatever, whatnot? But what it is, I'm changing the narrative. I'm telling them that I'm here because of my qualifications. I've got some good qualifications. And when you study hard, you work hard, you could buy anything you want.
I remember internet wasn't necessarily as much of an important thing as it was in today's world. We was able to not have a TV and go downstairs and play football. The realms of our world were within what we could touch, which meant we were more realistic about what we could do and what we could achieve. I think for young people in today, it's really impactful that they're bombarded with so many images, so many concepts of things that remind them of what they're not doing. And those things present a level of pressure that we are not familiar with.
I definitely think social media at the moment does have a negative impact on the younger society because it's unrealistic in it, to be honest. And if you're compare your life to what you see on social media, you're always going to be feeling that you're behind in some way, shape or form. So I definitely feel that the younger generations should take the social media with a pinch of salt, be more in person at the moment. I think everything's too online. They need to start having like genuine conversations with people for them to actually understand and get more knowledge of certain things that they might go online to see for 30 seconds and not really understand the process, what it takes to get there.
Content creators are the new digital drug dealers, and it's like people don't realise that. And they've measured the amount of dopamine, like drugs, it releases in us. And it's like, in many cases, like hundreds of times more potent than cigarettes and stuff. What I see happening as the next phase is that the adults amongst us, like the people that are informed, will now start informing these young people exactly how dangerous and potent like social media is. But more importantly, they're going to have to start creating the mechanisms to get the young people off the addiction.
So I think it's about reminding young people that not everything that you see is reality. You've got so many people. It doesn't even just affect young people, it's adults as well. It's like every week there's an engagement, there's a proposal. And some people are thinking, oh God, when, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
There was a lady who put their address online and people were sending them gifts. There was no type of thinking towards, okay, I've put my home address where I live on the whole platform that goes to millions, probably billions of people. I feel that as a generation, we may need to educate ourselves more to be able to put those controls in place because it is still something new. It's new to us and it is new to the young people.
What we try to do is look at ways that we can help any professional assess what is going on with a young person and decide what type of intervention they should apply. So for example, if you have a situation that is very impactful, helping this young person is going to be very impactful for them and it's extremely urgent, then it requires immediate action. Then moving on, if you've got something that is still very impactful, but maybe not as urgent, you've got a young person that's on the wrong pathway, maybe approaching expulsion or exclusion and things like that, then you have proactive development. We as an organisation operate mostly in these two quadrants. However, we also can support young people in the other two quadrants. But the part I want to make very clear to you, and obviously I'm happy to share this matrix with you at a later time, is the fact that utilising this matrix will enable you to know how to prioritise what type of intervention to give, especially when you're dealing with multiple children. I believe everybody here has something to bring and some way that we can support the young people in our community. Tupac once said, I'm not going to change the world, but I'm going to plant the seed in the mind of the person that's going to change the world. I believe in this room, we are the seed planters. And the call to action that I have for you guys and the mantle that I would like us to pick up is I don't want this to be the last time that we meet in this capacity. I want us to create a council of people that are able to meet and have high-level conversation about how we can support our young people. And those conversations to develop into tangible actions where we can actually apply for opportunities to really help our young people.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
Changed me.
Yeah?
It's changed me a lot.
What would you say that changed you?
Like, it's giving me something to do outside of college and outside of anywhere else, really.
In the past, I've also been told that I'm stupid, may never make it anywhere, will fail.
That's all right, let's struggle. Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing well, you're doing amazing.
But I will not let that define me.
Come on.
I know that I am strong, confident, happy, loved, wanted, appreciated, and going to make it.
That's it. That's it.
When I succeed, I plan to take my family out the hood and make sure my mum is okay, and make it in life in general. And I will not deviate from this promise, no matter what happens. Yours sincerely, Kay.
Adrian, I'll pick up with you on that. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit about what We Care Homes does. Yes. And also the fact that, Sir Keir Starmer said this is about more than just increasing numbers. He said it's about rebuilding the vital connection between the public and the police. Tell us about your organisation and what rebuilding that relationship should look like from your point of view.
So We Care Homes specialises in providing social care for looked after young people, aged between 12 to 18. Similar demographic of young people that I believe Keir Starmer's statistics and announcements have been made of. Now, the key part about our organisation is that we look after young people from the community, but we do so by engaging and collaborating with independent organisations throughout the community. We have actually been able to put together our own independent framework. It's a programme known as the Road to Damascus in the community. And what we have found is that investing just as much time and resources into the preventative mechanisms, such as programmes helping in rehabilitation or helping young people that are on the cusp of offending, are a much more cost-effective and impactful way to support what the police are doing in the community.
You mentioned engagement earlier on. How important is it that local police forces talk to organisations like yours, have a conversation about what your community needs, particularly young people, in terms of starting to build a relationship, trust?
It's imperative, to be honest with you. I truly believe that with the right relationships and the right knowledge, you could do the same job or have the same impact that a large police presence would have. I wrote a book called The King's Catalyst, and in that book, I recommend and I describe how beneficial it is for there to be a good community and policing relationship. I find that it's better to be able to work with each other as opposed to against each other. And with having knowledge on the needs of the community and the community having knowledge on the issues that the police face, I believe that more empathy can be built and more of a relationship can be built.